that.
Which number are you referring to when you say that?
Okay, it's an upside down T.
Okay?
Yeah.
Upside down T.
Capital.
So it would look like this.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That is not clear to me. Yes, ma'am. If someone didn't log off, turn it off, and then turn it back on. Hey, just as a heads up, and this is true for y'all as well, when you get off the computers, please log off of them, because then it's a pain in the butt for someone else in the next class. But if someone is still logged into your computer, what do you need to do? Shut it off. So hold the power button down till it turns off, and then turn it back on. You'll be good to go. But moving on from that, so what symbol indicates that those two lines are parallel? The upside down T. I want you to notice what kind of angles does it look like there are right here? Right angles. So literally, that upside down T is creating those right angles to indicate they're perpendicular. Does that make sense for everybody? We go with those two symbols?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Now, moving from there, we're going to use Geogebra to help us understand or to discover the criteria, right? So you already have this sheet. I'm going to get off of this and go to Geogebra really quickly. So this is Geogebra. This is what you should see when you first log in, but what is the first step that our directions tell us to take?
Go to settings.
Go to settings.
Upper right corner.
Upper right corner, there's our settings.
Show axis and show.
Hold on one second. I hear some people talking instead of paying attention and following directions, but I'll get you to continue with that in a second, Gabe, because you're crushing it. So we go to the settings, the gear in the upper right corner. And then what are we doing after that, Gabe? What after that? What does it tell us to do?
Click show axis.
Show axis and show grids, right? So we already have the axes, but we only want the major grid lines. And then it should look like this. Okay? So you only want the major grid lines. So click on the settings, go to show grid, and then go to major grid lines. That way you don't have 1,000 little lines going through the entire thing. Does anybody need me to walk you back through what to do there? We good? Okay. Now, from here, what does it ask us to do?
Use the line tool to create a line by placing 2 points in the line grid.
Okay, use the line tool to place 2 points. So, notice I'm going to go to tools on the left-hand side first. Then where am I going to go?
Down to lines.
Down to lines, okay? So it is just scrolling around. There is an option for lines somewhere. There's lines. And please hear me very clearly on this. Here is a major recommendation. When you put your 2 points, do not put them in random spots. Put them on the corners. So please notice how I have a point, I'm going to put a point right here on the corner of the grid. Okay? It will make your life significantly easier if you put your points on a grid. And then I might go to another grid point. So I'm going to go directly to a grid point and put that next point in there. And there is a line. Okay? Okay? So everybody good with that grid point or that line? Any questions from there? Does everybody have a line created? Brandon, I need you to stop doing that. I need you to focus on this because I'm about to establish a couple of key details that help you understand this. You're not following even the directions on the sheet. What you're doing is great for what we have been doing, but we're doing something new. Okay? So looking at this, I need you to focus on an important detail. Also, actually, really quickly, if you need it to be bigger, or to make it easier to see, if you go to settings, you can actually change the font size and make it bigger. Is that easier for us to see? Yes? A little bit? Nope, that's not what I want. So, you can make it a little bit bigger, easier to see like this. Now, before you do anything else, I need you to click on the Algebra button over here So click on this algebra button over here, Jordan. They're working on the computers. If you're not done with are you done with your understanding check?
I started telling him to get me.
Okay. Worry about him. Oh, that calculator. Okay. So I need you to click on the algebra button, because this is where you will actually see the equation of that line. Alright? You should hopefully already see the equation right there. If you don't, let me know and I'll show you how to see it a little bit more easily. But I want you to notice, there's the equation of this line. Anybody who's already had Algebra 1, we should definitely recognize this line. But even in middle school, I believe you talked about lines in this form, correct? Does that look familiar? Yes, no, maybe so? Yes for Rose, Michaela, no? Okay, someone who does recognize this equation, can you tell us what the name of this equation is?
Oh,
I don't know.
wait.
Kelsey. Yes, you know the name. Okay, so the general form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the what of that line. Every single one of us should know that slope, right?
Yeah.
What do we mean by b?
This.
Does anyone see a 0.2 anywhere on that graph, or something that might be 0.2?
Yeah.
Where?
The what? That's intercept.
Work to my mom.
In between the 1 and 2.
That's not an x-intercept. Although I will say the x-intercept looks to be about 0.2.
Yeah.
So what's that point called, this red one that I just put?
Why intercept?
The y-intercept. Say again. What are you saying, Rose? Nothing, sorry. So, this is the slope. And this is the what again?
Why intercept?
Y-intercept. So the name for this is the slope,
Why?
intercept form of a line. Okay? So, please hear me very clearly on this. I'll come and collect it, go get a computer, and follow the directions. So please hear me very clearly on this, because this is what you will need to know moving forward. What we want to pay attention to when we create parallel lines and when we create perpendicular lines is, how do those two equations relate? What is similar and what is different about the equations when they are parallel? What is similar and what is different when those are perpendicular? And they walk you through the directions of how to create parallel lines. They walk you through how to create perpendicular lines on the calculator. So your job is to focus on what two things?
Why?
The slope and the y-intercept, to figure out what must be true when they are parallel versus when they are perpendicular. Alright? So, do I have parallel lines right now?
No.
No, I don't have a second line that's parallel. You will create that parallel line. You will talk with the people within your group to figure out when you think lines are parallel, because you should all have different lines on there, but there should be one thing that is always true when you have parallel lines. There should be one thing that is always true when you have perpendicular lines. So work with your group, follow the directions. I'll be moving around, checking on you as you're making sense of this problem. Any questions? Going once. Yes, Lulicia. Say again. Okay, I'll come and look at your computer first. Everybody else? Yes, Kelsey.
What number did we leave off on?
I think I only did number 2 with y'all, right? Use the line tool to create a line by placing 2 points anywhere on the grid.
Okay,
So you still need to do putting a third point anywhere on the grid, not on line AB. So you need to pick up with line 3. I was just making sure you know where we're getting this equation from. What button do we have to hit?
Algebra.
You have to hit the algebra button to get the equation, but you're going to go back to tools to do everything else. Okay? So you need to go to algebra to see the equation, but you're going to use the tools button following those directions.
So we're supposed to be writing this down somewhere?
Just exploring for now. You can write it down on that sheet. I believe there's actually a place for you. Yeah, if you look on the back, there's a place for you to make notes. Okay, so there's a place on the back for you to take notes.
What are you gonna do?